Hello everybody and welcome to Binomial Distributions, how to find this particular calculator function. Now keep in mind here, we are going to be showing you how to get to the calculator functions in this video as well as a definition for all the terminology that we're going to use. So when we talk about the terminology and we're talking about calculators, you need a TI 83 or 84, no exceptions to this. Now granted, you could probably use a Casio or you could use a scientific sometimes, depending on your scientific. No, most of the classes that I'm going to be focusing on are 83, 84 functions. Sorry folks, if you're looking for calculator functions for the other calculators, you're going to have to wait till another day when I can get one of those calculators. So the first set of terminology is a lefty distribution. The second one is a righty distribution, while the third one is a tweener. Now lefties deal with less than or equal to. Righties are going to deal with greater than or equal to. And the tweeners are going to involve two less than or equal to items. We'll explain why later. I promise you that. But just know that the key word for a tweener is in between or something in that regard. Now, some people are going to complain saying, well, this is not between notation. Between notation should look like this. That's not how it works within a calculator because calculator functions for binomials don't let us use that particular notation. Sorry, folks. Now, as far as the lefties, this is going to be our dominant function. This one we're going to explain a little bit more in this video. But let's observe. So, just as a quick practice, if I give you a sample size of 5 and a probability of 0.9, and the probability of x less than 2, emphasis on less than 2. Well, then we need to start figuring out how we could do this by hand to know if our calculators are right. So let's see here. A sample size of 5, portion of 0.9. Well, if I did a binomial probability distribution, I can find when x is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I get all these numbers, and how would I go about it from there? Let's see. Let's start eliminating what we know. We wanted x is less than 2. So we know x can't be 5, because 5 is not less than 2. We know it can't be 4, because 4 is not less than 2. We know it can't be 3, because 3 is not less than 2. But can it be 2? Sorry, folks. 2 is not less than 2. 2 is equal to 2, but 2 is not less than 2. Please do not get this mixed up, and we're going to keep talking about this later on when we do more in-depth calculator functions. But more importantly, you should be able to find the likelihood of this value and the likelihood of this value by using, what is it? The binomial formulas. Now keep in mind that if you don't know how to create a binomial distribution and you are lost up the yin-yang with this particular video, please go back to the first set of videos. I'll put a link on this in a little while, but please go back to the first videos. Otherwise, what I'm going to show you in the next set of the series is going to be really confusing very quickly. So as far as calculators are concerned, I'm not going to put up this huge interface and show you button clicking. I'm going to be drawing on the actual calculator. So there are two buttons that you have to push. The first one is the second button, and the other one is the vars button. So the primary function is the second, and the secondary button, that still sounds completely wrong. It is so hard to try and say this in modern English because you're hitting second first and then you're going off to vars. Just know that this is the first button you're pushing and this is the second button you're pushing. The second will always be in the top left, always. The vars is always going to be next to the navigation buttons, or you know them better as up, down, left, and right. Okay, nothing too serious. But you have to know how to find these two particular buttons. Because after this video, I'm not going to pull up this calculator again, and you have to be able to find them. Now, once you find them, you should be able to see a new menu, and this new menu is going to look very awkwardly like this. Now, when you start off, you're going to see the numbers 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and scroll down. So you're going to hit this down arrow continuously until you see a binomial PDF. Now, it's not always going to be A in most of your calculators. It could be B or C, or it could be 0. But you want binomial PDF and binomial CDF. For those of you who don't know the difference between a PDF and a CDF, there is another video for that, and that is going to be put up as a link later on. Okay, so take a moment, practice finding these two particular buttons, and practice getting to this part of the screen. You will need that for your exam. All right, take a moment. It's no rush. Now remember, I am going to be putting up a small set of practices later on after this, so you have to be able to find these buttons. I will not show these calculators again after this point. Whew, there we go, tall guy. Sorry, that was a crowded screen there for a little bit. So, what we did in this video was we showed you how to find the particular calculator functions that you need to proceed. Please take the time out to practice these and also know the difference between a PDF versus a CDF. This is explained in another video, and it's the logic video for binomials. Please take the moment to find those. If you know these two particular functions and you know what the definitions are, by all means proceed on to the next one. Thank you very much for attending, and I'll see you next time. This is the tall guy, signing out.